Kampa, a quiet town surrounded by numerous mountains and scenic lakes. Despite its serenity, flourishing developments are happening in this small little town. It's hard to imagine that this place was once a war zone, a historical battlefield. A place where soldiers fought selflessly for the country's peace and harmony. In today's society, who will remember the sacrifices of our ancestors? And who will know that they've stepped foot on a land full of forgotten memories? During World War II, the Japanese intended to capture Kampa as a New Year's gift to the emperor and had a battle in Kampa with the British, Sikh and Indian troops. The war lasted for 4 days from 30th of December 1941 to 2nd of January 1942. There are 3 hills, the Thompson Ridge, Cemetery Ridge and Green Ridge, that mark significant historical value to the battle.
Many of the younger generations are unaware of the carnage which claimed the lives of their forefathers in their battlefields in Malaya. The British launched their first two counter-attacks at Thompson Ridge. It was not successful and they lost many of their men. A member from the commanding officer of the Gurkha battalion, that was Peter Khamis Petty, together with his men, they blew off the bridge on the Sungai Dipang at Kuala Dipang, where the Japanese forces could not pass through the bridge, and it further delayed their attacks to the southern part of the country. It was the Kuala Dipang bridge. You still can see the old foundation, the old bricks. So that was the foundation of the old brick.
Mr. Harchan brought us to Green Ridge, where the main battle took place.
Those days here also there was a hill here. So they have to cut down the hill to build up the buildings here. The hills were here, the Green Ridge was here. So both sides they made the fortification, so they can attack from the both sides here. This acts as a defense wall. So all the soldiers were, around here, and then they all the sandbags were here, and they were all on guard, so that sandbags were protecting them from the Japanese attacks from there. The trenches are all on top here. I'll just show you some of the trenches here. They are very deep, but because of many years, no maintenance, you see, all covered up. They don't have trees last time, you can see very clearly. Foxhole there is foxhole. This is a machine gun nest. Actually, basically they were about normal trenches were about 7-8 feet thickness, and then they had a platform here. It's just that all the erosion. So normally this is how they mount their machine gun here, okay, and then they were all taking their positions here.
Green Ridge was one of the most important defending positions of the Commonwealth soldiers against the Japanese troops during the 4 days battle.
Finally, the fourth attack, which was launched, which was led by Captain John Graham and his assistant, Lieutenant Charles Douglas Lamb, together with the members of the Sikh sepoys from the 1st Battalion, 8th Punjab Regiment. They successfully took over the position, and not only that, they chased the Japanese from the Thompson Ridge, and the Japanese had no choice to retreat back to the northern part of the Kampa. This is a place where the hand-to-hand battle took place, where the fourth and the last attack was very successful. Hand-to-hand battle took place here. The banzai charges and the traditional charges were made by the Sikhs, where they, with the bayonet, with the swords, with the attack, the charge, they marched against the Japanese. The Japanese were with the samurai swords here. So this is a place where more than 500 casualties among the Japanese and also 150 British casualties. They did was all their men who were killed in the battle. The officers were buried in the cemetery in Ipoh, in Buntung area, and some other parts in Malaysia, and the others were all cremated, So this is how the story ends here in Thompson Ridge.
Chong Man Se, a former journalist, and her husband, Gabriel Kwo Shin Lim, often bring tourists around the Green Ridge Trench, one of the battlegrounds of Battle of Kampa. With the help of Mr. Hachan Singh, 3 of them made effort in promoting historical sites of the battle into tourist attraction spots.
那边呢有留下一个烟囱，然后是接那个弹药，准备是运去那个缅甸的。
以前工厂是蛮大的范围的，运营其实都是第2次世界大战之后才搬来的，所以他们搬来的时候，他们这个东西已经在了，他们就让它继续存在，没有人特别去保护它或者破坏它。这个就是拿来做弹药、干跑的其中一个成分。拿石灰岩 （limestone） 加热到2000度，那个窑就在那个烟囱的下面。石灰岩没有 carbon 嘛 ，carbon 就变成 carbon oxide， 然后 carbon oxide 又会变成 calcium carbide。对，这样的话，要做弹药的时候就有原料咯。
我们是希望说新的政府能够更关注我们这一边的那种还没有被挖掘的一些风景啊、那种文物啊、这些资料啊、资讯啊、历史啊，这些东西都可以。当然，如果他们需要一些人帮他收集的话，我们是很愿意啊。
The Malaysian Armed Forces Sikh Veterans Association is also actively involved in efforts to construct a monument at the battle site.
The troops who fought here were Indians, majority Sikhs, there were Muslims also, there were Gujaratis, all type of races from India, but majority being Sikhs. So, and eventually they diverted the troops, the Japanese troops, but they maintained to hold them for 4 days. 4 days in a battle, we may think it's nothing, but day and night, when rockets are firing, bullets are shooting, people are attacking, day and night, we got no sleep, nothing is a terrible thing. 4 days like 4 years. And we don't have a single monument to mark, as a mark of respect for the heroes. So in 2015, the Honorable Prime Minister of India visited Malaysia, Narendra Modi. He pledged to build a war memorial at the battle site of Kampa. They pledged, they made a design. The Indian Commission also commissioned an architect. They made a design, a wonderful design, costing pledges only about $10 million. At the same time, the former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Muhammad Dato' Sri Najib, he pledged to give the land. So it's a government-to-government project. It's not a private project. It's government-to-government. Malaysian government gives the land, Indian government builds the monument. Okay. It will be the biggest and the most memorable memorial in Malaysia because costing 10 over million. There'll be a war gallery there. There'll be a museum there. The beautiful design, but I can't disclose the design because it's still confidential. The delay now is because of change of government. Since me and you government took over, all the ministers are new. Mantri Bisa is new. Prime Minister is new. The High Commissioner is new. The Tourism Minister is new. So we're going to start the whole process again. Okay, having meetings again to pursue this wonderful project.
We had a quick phone interview with Mr. Chong Zemin, State Representative of Kranji, on their future plans regarding of this issue.
The few areas that you mentioned, Marinawa, all those are not in my constituency except the Bukit Bujang Melaka, which is in Batu Berangkai in Kranji. The rest are all in Marinawa area. Let's say you have any plans, you just submit a proposal to me and then we see what we can do. Because tourist attraction needs to be something that people want to visit. And whether it has any pull factor or not, whether people want to go or not, and then whether it's convenient, transport, everything, we will take everything into account. So our plan now is to attract people to Kampar Old Town. But at the moment, I think the main focus should be on how to improve the economy, the local economy. So we try to generate some economy, generate some income. So we target the Pasar Malam, the floating market, and also the food stalls over there. Okay, because right now the main economic generator is Utah. Since mining in the 60s, 70s went down in the 80s, the whole city turned into a bit not very vibrant city. Okay, so until Utah came in 2009, the city became lively again, but it has reached a peak in terms of the number of students, the number of staff, whoever spent here. I think we have reached a peak, but to further generate more economy, we need another booster, which I think tourism is a very good booster for Kampar economy. And it has the potential to be a next Ipoh Old Town. Ipoh, like if you look at Ipoh 5 years ago, nobody knows about Ipoh, but now today it's an international hotspot for food paradise, for murals, everything. But Kampar also has that potential. Expected changes, I think more people will come and visit Kampar, and then the local will benefit from the economy generated, and it will become more lively, and we can try to attract the youth who are outstationed to look for jobs. They will come back and look for better opportunities.
There is a need for the Battle of Kampar ground to be preserved for the younger generation to come, just to show the younger generation and other people that this was the only place where the Japanese faced the first and serious defeat in the Malayan campaign. There were many Japanese soldiers died here. Not only that, even the Allied forces lost their men too. It is a very good location for the government to transform it into a historical site. Members of the public can come over here and learn about the trench warfare, where these trenches till today, if it can be if the government or the relevant authorities can preserve the place and clean up, and definitely I would always believe that Kampar will have a potential tourist ground where many people, not only locals, but we have many from overseas will visit this place, because there are many members of the soldiers who fought, family members of the soldiers who fought here, which today is still alive. They are talking about visiting, and they wanted to visit the Battle of Kampar ground. So I think that it's a very high time now where the government should fulfill their promise to preserve the battleground, the Kampar battleground, and to be one of the and also to be one of the tourist location in the country.
Our past shapes us to be the prosperous country that we are today. These brave soldiers willingly leave their family and home, sacrifice their life and blood to defend for the country. Their strength, their bravery and selflessness is something that we need to learn from. What we can do now is to pass on their stories to the next generation so that history is never forgotten. Most importantly, to remember the fallen with external respect and gratitude in the knowledge that we are living the future that they have fought for.